Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. My name's Cody, and today I'm here to give you my round 24 tips of 2024 of the NRL season, along with the round 4 NRLW tips of this year as well. Yes, I'm combining both tips just to make it a bit easier for me. Now, last week, unfortunately, I did miss the women's tips video last week, but I did put in my tips. I only managed to get one correct, and that was the very first game, which that was the Roosters I only got correct. But in round 2, though, I got a perfect round. 5 out of 5 for round 2 for the women's side. So, not bad. I'm 9 out of 15 for the women's games at the moment. Not doing too bad. Although, last week really crashed it for me. But we'll see if we do better this week. Now, before we get into the tips as well, guys, if you guys are new around here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. So, like the video as well. And turn on those bell notifications whenever I post a new video or whenever I start a live stream. Now, unfortunately, I didn't do any live streaming last week, but I'm going to do at least one live stream this week before I go to the Rabbits game this week. But anyways, guys, with that out of the way, we'll go quickly through the NRLW tips for round 4. I'm just going to say what team and margin, and that's it. And then we'll go through the men's sides for round 24. Anyway, kicking us off for Saturday, 11 a.m. from Totally Workwear Stadium in Brisbane. We have the 6th place Broncos against the 7th place Raiders. We will go the Broncos to win this one 1-12. Now, the next game we've got at 12:45 at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. The Cowboys versus the Titans. Cowboys to win this one 1-12. Now, next game on Sunday, which is kicking off at 12 p.m. from Wind Stadium in Wollongong. Dragons taking on the Roosters. We will go to Roosters to win this one 1-12. Now, this one here is going to be a banger. Sharks versus Knights, first versus fourth. Sharks the only team undefeated, only team undefeated in the women's side. Sharks to win this one 1-12. Also at PointsBet Stadium from 1:45. And then kicking off at 6:10 p.m. on Sunday this week is the West Tigers, who are still in last place without a win, against the 3rd place Parramatta Eels. Eels to win this one 13+. Alrighty, guys. Now, with the women's tips out of the way, let's move into round 24 now. Now, we only got 4 rounds to go until the regular season's over. Then we have the finals, which is only in 5 weeks. Can we believe it? This year's gone too quick. And the first game we kick off is without the doubt going to be an intriguing and interesting game. The game of the round, in my opinion. The second grand final rematch, but we already had that. The potential grand final we will most likely have this year. On Thursday night at 7:50 at Bluebet Stadium, we have the 2nd place Penrith Panthers taking on the 1st place Melbourne Storm. Now, last week, Penrith came back from behind to beat the Parramatta Eels in the Battle of the West in a high-scoring game. Panthers in the last 6 to 7 minutes scoring 14 points. And Parramatta choking that in those last 7 minutes, just to win 36-34. Just like the grand final last year, Penrith find a way to come back. But Penrith were lucky to get that win. As for the Storm, last Thursday, they beat my boys 28-16, my apologies. I keep saying 26, but they got 2-point penalty goal as well. But Melbourne did let the Rabbitohs catch up with 2 tries in the second half there. But other than that, Melbourne pretty much shut us off last Thursday night in a bit of a dismal crowd, which obviously me's blowing off about it, but I'm not really interested to talk about it. But yes, this is going to be an intriguing match. This game is probably going to decide who will claim the minor premiership for 2024. Now, at the moment, no shock. The Panthers are the favourites at $1.54, and Melbourne are $2.47 outsiders. In the past 10 games between the two, surprisingly, it has been the Panthers. They have won 6 of the last 10 games. Penrith have also won 3 of the last 4 games. And Melbourne's last win at Bluebet came back in 2022 when they beat the Panthers 16-0. And that was around this same time, around that same time that year, funny enough. This game is taking place on 15th of August. 2022 game was on the 11th of August. What a coincidence. But for this one, this game can go either way, but I think Panthers, although the last few games have been struggling a bit against the lower side teams, I think Penrith will get the job done here. I mean, Melbourne, they've been doing well, but they've been letting teams catch up to them in the second half, especially when they lost to the Dragons 2 weeks ago. But so I'll go Penrith to win this one in a close one. Panthers to win by 4. Scoreline, I'm going to go 20-18. Try scorers for both. We'll go Jerome Luai for the Panthers. And for the Storm, we will go William Warbrick. Panthers to win 1-12. Alright, now we have the first of 2 games on Friday night. The first one kicking off at 6 p.m. from Four Pines Park at Brookvale. We have the 6th place Manly Warringah Sea Eagles taking place against the 14th place New Zealand Warriors. Now last week, Manly coming off an excellent win over the Raiders, but letting the Raiders get a few late tries. Winning against the Canberra Raiders in Canberra last Saturday afternoon, winning 46-24 with a Tommy Tavojevic display, as always. And as for the Warriors coming off a high-scoring loss in Golden Point as well, and they have a 5-day turnaround, which is not good for them. And losing 34-32 against the Dolphins, a high-scoring affair. That was a great game, no doubt, but jeez, decided by 2 points. What a game that was to watch. Anyways, the Manly are at $1.17 favourites, and the Warriors are at $5.10. Now, in the past 10 games between the two, Warriors have won 5 of the last 10 games. Manly have won 4. Last time these two had played against each other back on April 13th, these two had a draw. Manly letting Warriors catch up from halftime to make it a draw at 22, or the only draw so far for 2024, and most likely will be. And that was an interesting game back then, but how both teams are at the moment, really shows you how much both teams have been doing since then. Anyway, last time the Warriors won at Four Pines Park was back in 2020, where they beat Manly 26-22. For this game, I mean, Warriors had a high-scoring game. It's a 5-day turnaround, and Manly, excuse me, coming off a 6-day turnaround, and also back at their fortress. I think Manly will win this one. I think Manly win this one. They are locked in for the top 8, guaranteed. So Manly to win this one, 13+. Or for this game, Manly to win by 16. Scoreline will go 28-12. Try scorers for both. We'll go Roger Tuivasa-Sheck for the Warriors. And Manly will go Tom Tavojevic as well. So Manly to win, 13+. And, sorry, if I haven't read out the odds yet, $1.17 Manly, $5.10 Warriors. Alright, now we move on to the last game and the main game on Friday night, kicking off from 8 p.m. at Allianz Stadium. We have the 3rd place Sydney Roosters taking on the 16th place Parramatta Eels. Roosters coming off their 3rd and final bye. Last time out, Roosters managed to win and beat the Dolphins in a high-scoring game in Perth, winning 40 points to 34. Well, a Friday night clash there as well, or Friday afternoon over there, or something like that. And Parramatta, oh boy, they were in that game, and Parramatta choked. Let the Panthers come back in the last 7 minutes, 14 points down to win, 36-34, and Eels just lost like that. That was shocking from the Eels, but give them credit, they were excellent early on, but obviously it came to bite them back in the arse in that, but that was one of the most shocking displays I've seen from Parramatta from this season. It was a shock to watch. Anyway, Roosters are favourites at $1.18, and the Eels are at $4.95. Now, in the past 10 games between the two, Roosters have won 8 of the last 10, which includes winning 11 of the last 14 games. Parramatta have also lost the last 3 games in a row. And Eels lost to the Roosters at Allianz last year, losing 28 points to 20. However, Eels did beat the Rabbitohs last year at Allianz, where they won 36-16 against the Rabbitohs, but I'm not going to get into that. Anyways, who do I have in this one? I think this one's pretty straightforward, just like the Manly one. Roosters to win this one 13+. Auto Eels, yes. High scoring game, but I don't think they'll be like that this time against the Roosters. Especially that Roosters have had the wood over them in the last few games. Roosters to win 13+ by 20. Scoreline, we will go 30 points to 10. And then try scores for both. Roosters, we will go James Tedesco, and Eels, we'll go Blaze Talongi. Roosters to win 13+. Alright, now we move on to our first of 3 Super Saturday fixtures. The first 2 are up in Queensland, because the first game kicking off at 3 p.m. from Salter Oval in Bundaberg. Yes, Bundaberg. The Bulldogs are taking their annual game to Bundaberg, one of the annual home games there. They're in 5th place, versing the Dolphins, who are currently in 8th place. Now, the Bulldogs last week managed to beat the Dragons 28. I think it was 28-10 in a bit of a okay game, but sold out at Cogra. That was nuts. And Bulldogs are still looking forward to making the top 4, but obviously the Sharks are in their way. And as for the Dolphins, they finally snapped their losing streak. I think it was 3 in a row they've lost now. But last week, Dolphins managed to beat the Warriors at Suncorp, winning 34-32 from a Sean O'Sullivan 2-point field goal. What a great game that was, no doubt. Now, Dogs are the favourites at $1.47, and the Dolphins are at $2.68. Now, these two have also played one game, then that was last year. But Bulldogs won that one 23-22. Funny enough, that was at Salter Oval as well. Now, the Dogs have 1 win, 1 loss at Salter Oval. Their loss was against the Cowboys in 2022. I think that score was 28-14. That was towards the end of that season as well, so that's interesting. I don't know if the Dogs will continue with this next year. I'll have to wait and see. But for this one's going to be interesting. But I think Dogs will win this one. Now, it's just a game for the Dolphins in Queensland. I mean, they should play the Dogs at home in Sydney, but obviously they're too lazy to go to Sydney, as always. But Dogs to win this one, 1-12. Dogs to win by 8. Scoreline, go 28-20. And try scores for both. We'll go Bronson Sherry for the Dogs. And Dolphins, we will go Isaiah Katoa. So, Bulldogs win 1-12. Alright, our second game kicking off from 5:30 p.m. on Saturday from Queensland Country Bank Stadium in Townsville. We have the 7th place North Queensland Cowboys taking on the 11th place Canberra Raiders. Raiders coming off a loss over Manly, scoring two or three late tries to lose 46-24 at Canberra last week in Josh Papali'i's 301th NRL game. So, not the first time they've lost in a 300 game like they did with Jada Croker last year, and that was to the Warriors. And as for the Cowboys, shocking last week against their arch nemesis, the Broncos. Broncos coming back to win 44-18 against their arch nemesis. But Cowboys' first half was excellent, and then cookie crumbles, and just like that, they let the Broncos score 20 unanswered points on them. What the fuck? 40 points I meant, sorry. But still, that was shocking from the Cowboys. They're hoping they'll rebound from that horrible loss. And they're still at home, which is good to see as well. Now, Cowboys are the favourites at $1.47, and the Raiders are at $2.70. Now, in the past 10 games between the two, Cowboys have won 6 of the last 10. Cowboys have also won 6 of the last 7 games between the two, which includes winning the last 5 games. Last time the Raiders won against the Cowboys was back in 2020, where they won 14-12. And also, Raiders have also lost 3 of their last 4 games at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Their only win at this venue was in 2020, which was the aforementioned one I just mentioned, 14-12. For this game, well, the Raiders season's still on the line. I think if they lose this one, then they will not make the 8, honestly. Cowboys, I think their top 4 hopes are long gone now, but I think the Cowboys will rebound and win this one. Cowboys to win 1-12. Cowboys win by 6. Scoreline 18-12. Try scorers for both. We'll go Xavier Savage for the Raiders, and for the Cowboys, we will go Tom Dearden. So, Cowboys to win 1-12. Alright, now we move into our last game of Saturday, kicking off at 7:35 p.m. at Campbelltown Sports Stadium in Sydney. We have, you can probably call this a snooze fest and the most boring game around, and I don't blame you. We have the 17th place, West Tigers, current Wooden Spooners, against my boys in 15th place, the South Sydney Rabbitohs from Campbelltown Sports Stadium. Now, last week, the Tigers coming off another loss, losing to the Knights this time. I think that's now 7 or 8 in a row the Tigers have lost now. Losing 34-18 at McDonald Jones Stadium last week. And as for my boys, fortunately coming off a loss to the Storm once again. Now we have lost 3 in a row of our last. We've lost 3 in a row of our last 3 matches now. Our last win was fun enough against the Tigers back on the Central Coast back in round 20. Now at the moment we are the favourites at $1.45, and as for the West Tigers, they are $2.77 outsiders. Now before we get into the head-to-head, I'm just going to mention a stat here. Now this will be the first time ever the Rabbitohs and Tigers will play each other at Campbelltown. Since the Tigers have come to the comp in 2000, we have never played them at Campbelltown, which is crazy. The last time we played at Campbelltown was in 1999, 25 years ago, where we played the Magpies and we won that one 16-10. And we currently have a record of 4 wins, 6 losses, and 1 draw at the venue. So, 25 long years since the Rabbitohs have played at Campbelltown. That's fucking nuts. And I'm actually shocked that we haven't played there yet, because the majority of our games have been at a core against when we've played the Tigers. But there you go, funny stat there. We've never played at Campbelltown. That is absolutely nuts. And yes, I will be there for that game as well. And should be exciting, but it will be a cold one, no doubt. Now, in the past 10 games between the two, we have won 8 of our last 9 games against the West Tigers, and 8 of our last 10, of course. Last time the Tigers beat us was in 2022 at Combank Stadium, 23-22, when that was scored by a field goal. I think that was from Adam Dewey, I believe, and he's playing this game, funny enough. And we have also won 4 in a row. And the last time out, we beat the Tigers 42-28 up here on the Central Coast in Gosford. So, obviously, I will back my own team for this one. It's not going to be a great game, obviously. I think it will be a boring game, but we'll have to wait and see. But backing my boys, we can't make the finals. Well, let's just hope we can get out of the bottom 4, which that's unlikely now, but let's hope we can avoid the spoon, hopefully, because Tigers still got 3 games to go. And they could try and beat us this game. What they did against us in back a month ago, they can do this at Campbelltown as well. Now, Rabbits to win this one 1-12. Rabbits to win by 8. Scoreline, I'm going to go 20. Yeah, 20. No, I'm going to go 32-24. I reckon this is going to be a high scoring game. No defense whatsoever. So, us to win 1-12. See you at Campbelltown on Saturday night. Alright, now we move on to our Sunday games. The first one kicking off at 2 p.m. from Wednesday in Wollongong. We have the 9th place St George Illawarra Dragons taking on the 13th place Gold Coast Titans. Now, last week the Titans got flogged against the Sharks, and everyone expected them to win this one, considering what they did against the Sharks back at Coffs Harbour, but it wasn't to be. Titans got flogged 44-0 in front of the home crowd, but which no shock there, but it's just surprising. And as for the Dragons, coming off a loss against the Bulldogs at Cogra last week, with losing 28-10 at a sold-out Cogra Oval. First time, I think, since 2009 they got sold out, which that's nuts. Now, at the moment, the top Dragons are the favourites at $1.51, and the Titans are at $2.58. Now, these two are also playing at WIN Stadium. This will be the first time these two have played at WIN Stadium since 2022. Dragons won that 46-26. In the past 10 games between the two, Dragons have won 6 of the last 10, which includes winning 3 of the last 4. Now, funny stat here as well. Titans have played 5 games at WIN Stadium against the Dragons, and they have never won at WIN Stadium. They have never won there. That's nuts. And they're looking to finally get their first win, potentially on Sunday. But for this one, I think that now Dragons do have a few out, unfortunately, but they do play better at WIN Stadium than Cogra, in my opinion anyway. But I think Dragons will just get this one. Dragons to win by 4, 1-12. Dragons to win this 18-14. And try scorers for both, we'll go Tyrell Sloan. And for the Titans, we'll go with the young fullback, I think Keanu Kinney, I think that's what his name is. So Dragons to win 1-12. Alright, now we move on to the final game of round 24. We have the kicking off at 4:05 PM at PointsBet Stadium. We have the 4th place Cronulla Sharks taking on the 10th place Newcastle Knights. Now, Sharks coming off a win over the Titans, flogging them 44-0, getting their revenge over Titans at Seabus this time. And as for the Knights, beating the West Tigers at McDonald James last week, winning 34-18. Now, at the moment, the Sharks are the favourites at $1.37, and Knights are $3.14. Now, in the past 10 games between the two, has been 5 games apiece, funny enough. However, Sharks have lost 5 of their last 8 games. They've lost 5 of their last 8 against the Knights, which includes earlier this year where the Knights flogged them 32. I'm sorry, last year. My apologies. Sorry, said August, but that was last year. The Knights beat them last year, 32 points to 6. But funny enough, the last time the Knights won at PointsBet Stadium was in 2014, where they beat the Sharks 31-18. So the Knights have lost their last 5 games at PointsBet Stadium since 2014, a long decade. Anyways, for this game, I think this is going to be a close game, I reckon. But as much as I want the Sharks not to fall out of the top 4, to fall out of the top 4 rather, I think they will win this one. Close though, by 6. Sharks to win this one. We'll go 26-20. That's the score. And try scorers, we will go William Kennedy. And for the Knights, we'll go Kalen Ponga. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will wrap up my NRL tips for 2024 for round 24, along with my NRLW tips. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. Turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss out whenever I post a new video or live stream. Anyways, guys, I'm getting out of here. Obviously, we'll be going to the game on Saturday, so if you're going to Campbelltown, might see you there. I will also be live streaming, and I will be back to live streaming more now after missing a few weeks. Now, only Thursday, most likely I'll only do it this stage. Sunday, we'll wait and see how I feel. But anyways, guys, I'm getting out of here. See you all in the next one. And let's go, Rabbits. Let's beat the Tigers.